have your bike. But it just, I don't know. All I can say is like to have an experience at age 46 when it happened to me, that I was not expecting to have is, you know, and you get into a routine. I'd say I do the mornings, my wife does the night, and I get everything ready for this. And you get into a routine where you're like,
did Molly and Burning. Wait, what was the last part?
Wait, hang on a second. No, well, like you get stuff where like, okay, our kids have
monotonous.
You get into the routine of life, and when there are two more people who have stuff that is in their routines and whatnot, it can be very difficult. That's why I like performing at night. That's why I like going out and you never know what's going to happen. And I like going and judging the roast battle until 1 a.m. and we don't know how it's
even
going to
if you
go.
have to sacrifice sleep.
Even if I know it's going to kill me the next morning.
Crush you, yeah.
It'll crush me, but I'm sitting out there up there at the Comedy Store, and I'm thinking to myself, this is great. This is why we do this.
You also only have to get through a couple hours in the morning, and then you can either get a nap in or something.
Yeah, 6 to 8. It's like, 6:45 to 8? Can I just get it together and also be there for them and be there with them? It's a big deal. I always want to.
Well, I think that's really inspiring for all parents.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is there any final thoughts that you want to, best parenting advice you can give out to our listeners?
Unsolicited. I guess you solicited it.
You're gonna make a lot of mistakes. Mm-hmm. That's just it. Like no one can be a perfect parent. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes. If you're there, if you're just there and you love them, you can't afford to make mistakes. Like we were talking before we got on here. This was a particularly rough career day for me today. And like all the shit went down at 4:30. And I cut my day off at 3 so that I can be with my kids who come home from school at 3. And like, I want to do homework with them. I want to hang out with them. I want to take them to their activities. One's got ballet and fencing and the other one's got gymnastics. And I want to run around and pick them up. This is, I live for this. I actually really enjoy that. And then I'm with them and whatnot. And the whole time I'm like scrambling on conference calls, like wishing the worst on people who just fucked us over and like on the phone, like it's just insane. And my kids were both pissed at me. They were so mad. Because I think they've sensed all the anxiety and I never want to give them all that, but they were there's nothing I could do. I had to be on these calls while I'm driving them around. It's like, what am I going to do? Not drive you to your thing? I have to. Mm-hmm. And I also have to be engaged in this thing right now. And I promised my 11-year-old that I would bring our bulldog to gymnastics at the end, and I forgot to do it. And she like yelled at me at gymnastics, like, what? You said you were going to do this and you promised you were going to do it, like giving me attitude.
Oh my God.
As an 11-year-old would give you attitude. And I was like, at this point, I'm like, you cannot do this. Yeah. And I was like, but I fucked up. And then afterwards I was like, I'm sorry. I screwed up.
How do you hold back from like having an outburst or being emotional when that happens?
Well, I was with a friend of mine, this dude who's like super cool, whose kid's on the gymnastics team. And she just started walking out to the car and I just literally turned to my friend and I was like, so you're playing with Luna this weekend? That's awesome, man. We started talking about music for a little bit longer and I was like, I'm going to finish this conversation because this is making me happy right now. And then I got outside and I was like, you can't do that. You can't do that shit. Your dad, but you're going to make mistakes. But the point is I was there to pick her up and then I made a mistake and I did promise something and I didn't follow through on it. She should not have taken it the way that she did. And, we had a couple of other moments tonight that were not great, but in the end, I just came into her and I apologized. And it's like all of like, it can all be fixed. You were saying like, how's my daughter going to handle me going to yoga and being in this thing? She'll handle it. She will totally handle it. You can do all that stuff. And taking care of yourself is a big deal. That's a large umbrella. Taking care of, if you're unhappy because of the constraints of parenthood and your life and everything, it goes through into your kids. Yeah. It just goes through to them in ways that you don't want it to. You think it's not, but it is.
Yeah. You always remember when your dad gets upset or whatever. Well, Randy, thank you so much for
this was awesome.
Being on this podcast. We've been looking forward to this for a long time, and you totally knocked it out of the park.
Thanks, man. I needed this.
Good.
I needed to hang.
Yeah.
Needed it.
Where can our listeners follow you? Do stuff.
You can listen to our podcast, Dumb People Town.
Fantastic podcast.
It's all about dumb people doing dumb things. We need to have you on it. We need to have you on it. Can we make that happen?
Couple of dumb dads.
A couple of dumb idiots.
Well, let's do it individually, and then we can promote you guys twice. Well, we've been doing these like mini ones on every other Friday, and it's one story. It's 25 minutes.
Cool.
And it's bite size, but it remarkably,
I like that.
Remarkably, those shows have been doing so well.
Yes.
It's incredible.
I agree with that.
Because people are like, yeah, I walk my dog for 25 minutes, and this is what I listen to. Or this is my commute from home to office in 25 minutes. I want the thing to finish up in that time period, and that's great. So
I'd love to do a bite size.
So that's a bite size. I would love for you guys to do that. So you'll do that. Dumb People Town. It's
cool.
Wherever you find that. And then if you're a sports fan, you like sports, we do a podcast called View from the Cheap Seats. You don't even have to be a sports fan, but it is like, if you want to know, this is like what's been going on in the world of sports, and it's funny.
I love your sports couple minutes on KCRW.
Thank you. We just did one yesterday.
But after this, I'm like, why don't they have you on for the music part too?
Right? I should be able to.
I'm going to call Jason Bentley tomorrow.
Tell Bentley it's time to bring those. It's time to bring the Sklars in. The Chevy Bolts. It's time to bring a Chevy Bolt next to that Bentley.
And you're going to be a Moon Tower.
Going to be a Moon Tower coming. I mean, we have so much stand up coming up.
Yeah.
And that's.
But we always have a good time in Austin.
Dude, we are going to.
Yeah, we are.
Should I go? Plush it up?
Should Sandy come?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's worth it. It's a really.
Is it going to be as transformative of an experience as Burning Man?
No, but it'll be really fun. Okay. You will have a blast because it is just all of your favorite people there.
All comics.
We all hang out. Like, it's a great hang. Like, really I guarantee you, if you go, like, we'll be hanging out at 2 a.m. at some point. Just
Pete Terry's for sure, at least.
We'll be, I mean, I love it. I love the place. They have a lot of hangouts for the comedians, which is really great. And it's just, the shows are really good too. I mean, that's the other thing. Like, you'll see a bunch of stuff that you love. You'll sneak it with your artist pass. You'll like go here and there.
The audiences are dope.
They're amazing.
They want to, and when we do jam or whatever, but they're game.
The jam is, I mean, we're doing it 2 nights, I think.
Are you?
And I think we're doing Highway to Hell.
Well, that sounds about right. You two are legends. You're all stars. Okay. Randy Sklar, thank you so much for being part of Motherfuckers Parenting Podcast.
Love it.
We love you, bud.
Thank you. Thank you guys for listening to Motherfuckers, a parenting podcast.
We love you.
Please follow us on social media at MFers Podcast. And please, please rate and review us on iTunes. It helps us get a lot more listeners and more visibility. But we really just appreciate you having listened. And thank you for that. But if you could go above and beyond and
just a little extra schmooze.
Rate and review, like and subscribe, tell your friends, follow us, like our posts.
In the duration of this outro, you could have done it. You just jump in and do it right now.
And you know what? The more of you that do it, we don't have to have this outro in more episodes.
Yeah, we'll cut the outros if we get more followers.
And if we get more ratings and reviews. 5 stars, baby. Then 5 stars.
And we'll stop saying things like 5 stars if we get them. But until then, a lot more of these outros.
Your mom, sometimes being a dad means getting hit in the balls a lot. Being a dad means saying, I'm turning this goddamn car around right now. If you don't stop.